This is women in general. All right, 10 Reasons Women Are Lonely by Jennifer Slattery. From Jennifer Slattery, livesoutloud.com. And so I'm going to take this with a grain of salt, but I want y'all to see what she's saying. She's saying one third of women are more frightened of loneliness than receiving a cancer diagnosis. I want y'all to grasp that real quick. But in the meantime, let me greet everybody. Geworden hardu gudag, Ola, oi to the bang, vassus los, bonjour, mes amis, keto bawani konnichiwa, ni hao ni ma, sani bonani, jumbo bargani, assalamu alaikum and shalom. For those that like to donate, my donation link will be in the description box. Like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. Before you donate, make sure you have taken care of yourself and your family first. And by yourself, that means your bills, your house, and stuff like that. Don't be donating rent money to people. All right. Don't donate your bill money to people. Pay your bills, your rent first, and then you have something left over, donate it. All right. Now that that's out of the way. All right. She goes on to say 1/3 of women are more frightened of loneliness than receiving a cancer diagnosis. All right. I want to break this down real quick. This is the situation that the modern day woman has put themselves in. You would think that there is a way out, but they have so destroyed the good in good men that I don't know where that way out comes for them. I really don't. I can't see how they get a way out. The goodwill of Afro men have so been destroyed by the so-called black woman that in droves the Afro men are leaving the country. And here's what that is doing. Once the Afro men leave the country, they're finding that people are giving them love and respect everywhere else but here. So they only come back because they have to, because that's what their visas say or their passports say, or that's how long they plan their trip for. But what happens is they use their money and resources to leave. Think about that. The money and resources that could have been going to those women, they didn't choose those kind of men. They wanted Pookies and Ray Rays. Or they wanted the other communities, the LGBT, to name a few. Or they sided with the very people that wanted that same Afro man destroyed. And then guess what happened? The Afro man is no longer available to them. Because even if he does not get into a committed relationship with anyone else, he's definitely not coming back to the one that has treated him the worst. So if they're giving him some kind of good, understand this, if people outside the U.S. is giving him some kind of good, why would he come back to the ones that he has known nothing but wickedness from? Being set up to be robbed by their Pookie and Ray Ray boyfriend. Watching this unfold on Facebook every day, while they put all their dirt on Facebook for the public to see, how they get mad when the Afro man responds to it, saying that something needs to change. And yes, respond to it negatively. The other thing that these women want is validation for the wickedness. They say, "Oh, we need to put good vibes into the ear." While I do maliciousness to you, malice to you, while I do wickedness to you, I still expect you to put good vibes in the air so I could feel good about the wickedness that I do to you, while at the same time calling you a fool for allowing it. No, brother smartened up and said, "No, we ain't down for this. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Peace, love, and soul. I'm out of here." All right. And these women are having a hard time handling that new dynamic right now. All right. Is a wake up call that they weren't ready for. It was like we was trying to wake them up and saying there is smoke. I think I smell something. Okay. I think I smell like the house is burning. They decided not to wake up. Then we saw the smoke. They decided not to wake up. And not only did they decide not to wake up, they acted like the smoke wasn't smoke, and they act like that they forgot what burning stuff smelled like. And so they ignored all the warning signs. So then the brothers just left a burning house, because then they realized that, oh, wait a minute, the one that was ignoring all the warning signs was the one that set the house on fire. So they leave the house and they leave to themselves. When they wake up, they're engulfed in flames that they caused. There's no help, because the one that tried to help them, they ignored and pushed off. And they got ghosts and they went to another home, leaving them there to care for that home by themselves. Sad part is they never saw it coming, but they should have. Herein lies the issue. All right. Herein lies the issue. All right. So, as we're going through this article, I started to say, interesting. I wonder what this woman had to say about this. Then the first thing I read, I was like, wow. It's one thing to get this from a woman's perspective, but it's really one thing to get this from a woman's perspective. She says 1/3 of women are more frightened of loneliness than receiving a cancer diagnosis. Why? With a cancer diagnosis, with everybody understanding that they have to die, usually you have a bunch of people around you that feel sorry, sad, this, that, and the other. You have the company of others. But it's a horrific thing when a woman has to die alone with nobody that loves her at the end of her life because of the mistakes that she made at the beginning of it, or at least in the middle of it. I want y'all to ponder that for a minute. All right. So she's dealing with the situation that no one loves her. And the only person there to take care of her is the females, like the daughters that she raised, and she know what kind of daughters she raised. And now she's not comfortable with the care she's about to get by females that don't really care about her and her plight. All they care about is their next check. And they're going to be upset is because the females that's now watching over her ain't getting much of a check because she hasn't done much in her life. And she's probably out back doing all kind of nefarious things with her pookies and rayways. Why while you sit as an old woman in soiled diapers with nobody that turns you over because they just don't care. After all, you're not them. And even if you are their mother, remember, many folks die in an old folks' home rather than at home like back in the day. Okay? So she goes on to say, and yet loneliness in America has tripled since 1985, around the time home computers started become common. Since then, technology has boomed, allowing us to remain more connected than ever, at least in theory. But according to a recent survey, nearly half of us are feeling increasingly disconnected, alone, and isolated. This means that on any given Sunday, we're likely to be sitting next to someone in desperate need of a friend. You know this friend zone stuff that the woman keep putting you in? All right. She has forsaken the companionship of a husband. She has forsaken the real husband and wife dynamic where if a man had more than one wife, she would never be lonely. She will always have a friend to talk to, this, that, and the other. She wouldn't have to worry about anybody taking her husband, is because they would both be the wife to that guy and the house would be taken care of. They would both prosper in so many ways, but that was destroyed, and that was the African culture. And it was destroyed when the Europeans went and colonized every place, because everybody had that as a culture, and people really got along under that culture. Amazing how people don't get along now under the culture that was developed by the Europeans. Amazing how the family went to hell in a handbasket, and you could see the slow decay right before your eyes. Except as it decays slowly, it starts to increase the decay exponentially. All right. So, an increasing number of women are unpaid caregivers. All right. That's one. An increasing number of women are unpaid caregivers. All right. But when you deal with this, when you deal with this, one of the things that's the problem is that these women, all these people, and everyone around them, they forsake a lot of these things thinking it doesn't matter. And it never matters to them until it matters. You understand? It never matters until it matters. One of the things I hate about this thing here is I'm trying to see if I can get to the so that's the Caregivers Alliance. So we're going to go back one. That didn't work. Well, they screwed this up. All right, we're not going to get to all the slides it look like. And that might be because of my computer. Kind of hate the way these things do this. All right. But anyway, let's see if we could go back. Nope, can't go back. Can't go forward. Let's see if we can redo this. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, that's one. So the problem is that two, quantity has replaced quality. All right, so these women got so many dudes chasing after them because they created a frenzy by saying that it's all about these Hollywood looks. And so as a result of these Hollywood looks, right, they have so many dudes that they have no one. They getting run through by Pookie, Ray Ray, Uwe, Wonder Mike, Big Mike, Little Mike, Shorty, Scruffy, Bow Wow Bow Now, How Now Brown Cow, and everybody else. And by the time that they think that they're ready for a good man, guess what? He ain't around because one, you pushed him off so long he left the country, or two, he's with somebody else. Unresolved past hurt that is self-inflicted. All right. So she goes, I've traveled the country speaking to women often on topics to loneliness and rejection. More often than not, one fear of rejection kept them in isolation more than actual rejections. They may or may not be experiencing. Now, here's the problem with women being rejected, right? What usually happens is, they go for the bad guys and stuff like that. The bad guys are the ones that rejected them after they give their all to the bad guys, wondering why the bad guys acted so bad. But when they went for them, they said, I like bad boys. But then get shot when bad boys act bad. But that's why they like them. If they acted good, they wouldn't desire the boys. It's a catch-22, a conundrum. It's a ridiculousness. It's also a reason why people are leaving these women to hit the wall alone. Independence. To women that try to say they're independent, I tell them not to say that. I tell them use a better phrase. Say that you are self-sufficient, not independent. What's the difference? Self-sufficient means that if something goes wrong, right? If something goes wrong out of whack or whatever, right? At least you have the means to fix things for yourself. You have the means to get things kind of right because you are self-sufficient. You understand? And so a lot of people don't understand between independent means you definitely don't need nobody, right? You don't need nobody's help. You don't need nothing. Some of the times around here, y'all know Francisco, the one that we're always driving around in these dangerous places so that we can get an understanding of what's going on and what needs to be done, right? Tomorrow, I think I'm going up into another favela with the guys from the airport. All right. So basically, and yes, for those who's asking, I am in Brazil. All right. So basically, this is what's going on. These people, these women, and I think this is something men really, really understand, because I've not heard men actually call themselves independent. Because we always understood that some things are a team effort and some things are you can do by yourself. So as I was talking about Francisco, what he would do, he would be carrying stuff up the steps of the NGO, right? And I was like, Francisco, I'm right here. So I would grab one part of the heavy thing, he'll grab the other. I said, when you have people, when you have two people, use two people. If you need to do it by yourself, then you figure out a way to do it by yourself. But no, you don't need to do it by yourself when you have help available. I tell this to a lot of people. There is no such thing as an independent person. They say, well, Oprah got her money given to her by Caucasian people who had a show that was heavily dependent upon people watching it. She didn't make people watch it, and she didn't make a widget that a bunch of people bought to get those millions and that turned into billions. She didn't make any of that. They paid her to talk trash about some things, and she got money. Wendy Williams, the same way. They're not independent. They're not self-made. Oprah is not self-made. Somebody gave her a job. It got real popular on TV. They gave her money. Then they gave her more money. Then they gave her more money. They gave her control of some things, and now they're using her as their puppet. All right. Nobody's independent. You can be self-sufficient, but no one's independent. All right. They compare their relationships to everyone else, filtered highlights. Ooh, that's a good one. They are comparing themselves to other people through lenses that is outside of what the truth is. I want y'all to contemplate that for a minute. They're always getting mad at why their relationship can't be as good as someone else's. And then they're the first one to say, I am shocked when some heinous thing happened to the people that they looked up to. Think about it. Oh, what's next? All right. And so here's the thing. Look at this. Our Facebook feeds have been flooded with images of girls' night out, happy, smiley families, and perfect date nights. However, we don't see the fights, frustration in every posed photograph, or all the nights our friends spent alone viewing everybody else's posts, sitting in our quiet living room with our crabby children and busy spouses. Now, X the big busy spouses is because less and less people are getting married and more women are having babies out of wedlock. Oh, and the reason why all these bills are coming forth is um, Caucasian people aren't having babies either. We're going extinct, but so are they. And they realized that the wickedness they had planned to get rid of the Afro man is now getting rid of everybody. I kept telling them, first us, then you. All right. And so that's basically it. I had a situation where I bought something for somebody and they couldn't even come pick it up. Not only did I decide, well, maybe I shouldn't be dealing with them, but I took the item I bought back to the store. And I told her, if you can't come pick it up, especially when I had a headache and this, that, and the other, then you don't need what I bought. And it was something she really wanted. She wanted it because she saw me with it. Funny how that works out, right? Six people spend less time outside. All right. Now she's really speaking of this from the perspective of a Caucasian woman and all this stuff. When she say cul-de-sacs and stuff like that, let's talk about the people that don't live in cul-de-sacs and stuff like that. I rarely see women outside with their children. If I see them outside at all in my neighborhood, I see all their children outside, but I rarely see women outside with their children. If you go up to their house, if the people that bring programs to the neighborhood go up to the houses, all they smell is, that funky smoke outside their door. Their child is outside. Their child is always hungry because these programs, they get to see this. One of the program managers quit. And I believe he quit because one of the reasons his job, they put a lot of work on him. But the other one, he was like, man, I don't know. Should I call CPS? Because I got some children that's really not eating at all. And when I go by their parents' house, all I smell is that junky smoke. And that's what these women do. They sit there and lay up with Pookie and Ray Ray in them, send their children outside as not to be bothered with them, to the point where one got paralyzed. All right, period. Our nation has become politically polarized. That's true, but it's not polarized because women are on the same page. The nation is not politically polarized. The women have made war with the men in a war where men being alone seems like a moment of peace, whereas women being alone, well, get you an article why written like 10 reasons women are lonely. They didn't understand the stakes when they started the battle. And they didn't understand that to start a battle would be fighting a losing one. But then a lot of time, what this article won't point out is a lot of women won't think that through. Technology has drastically decreased face-to-face interaction. Now, this is important because it is that it's hard for a man to actually see a real woman. Oh, we see the things walking around in clown makeup and silicone, but most of us don't know if the woman that we see walking around the streets is real or not, because of all this fake stuff that they created for them to deceive men, deceive us in the way that they look. All right. So she goes drastically decrease face-to-face interaction. I see brothers all the time when I go somewhere, but you're right. I do not see the women because they in the house with Pookie and Ray Rays in them. And since Pookie and Ray Rays can jump from house to house, since they're only 20% of the male population in the Afro community. See, I know about the Afro community. I don't know what's going on in the Caucasian community. So I only speak to the Afro community. And what I do know is only 20% of the dudes are mating with these women. Statistics bear that out. And these dudes are humping from house to house. We all know this because we all see it. And the babies show it. People worship busyness. One of the main reasons you can't talk to, you could come all the way to Brazil and holler at a female before you can talk to a woman that's your next door neighbor in the United States, especially if she is uh, uh, a B fem. Let's call them B fems. All right. If it's a B fem, she could be your next door neighbor and will not talk to you. If you ain't got nothing for her to, puff on, if you ain't got that, what do they say? That swag, that thug thing, they ain't trying to talk to you. While you're actually above that kind of lifestyle, they will look down on you as if you are beneath her, while you're looking down on her like you're lower than me. And she only realizes this after these guys again give her a bunch of children, can't take care of them because they in jail or never had money and never wanted children, and now she's suffering those consequences. And now she's trying to blame you, the guy that she never wanted to be with. Wow, that's jacked up how that works, huh? All right. And you got 10 on her list. The local church is the thing that split more people up than anything. The problem with me and Mimi was this: the church. These women wanted their religion over a man. So when a man got ghost because he ain't having no other man tell him how to run his house, these women are left with the invisible Caucasian divas and they pastor. Oh, by the way, the pastor has a wife already. And if she want to get with him, she need to get in line. And in some cases, if you ain't got the nicest body, you need to get to the back of the line and wait your turn. Understand this. All right. These people are understanding. All right. And then just to back everything up about her 10 things, let's get to this post-traumatic stress disorder that so-called Afro women are suffering from. Well, maybe not Afro women, but the Black women are definitely suffering from it. The BFEMs. When post-traumatic stress disorder is discussed, images of broken, injured soldiers returning from combat frequently come to mind. But PTSD is not limited to the military. All right. And so it goes on to say it can happen to all people. Now, we talking about the Chicago Tribune. We could understand why they're having a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder there. All right. And so this is another problem. All right. 30% of these 72 women presented the PTSD, and 7% exhibited strong symptoms of the disorder. They go on to say 1/3 of African American women in some communities may be at risk of PTSD. Now, I take this to heart, and this is why. If Jerome, Pookie, and Ray Ray are the only people that you consider a viable mate because of their violent history, not long after you consider them, get with them, and let them produce children with you, if you know what I mean, will they start acting out on such tendencies? What then ends up happening is this. You become like the soldier that's been in a war zone. Because these are the guy that brings not peace, stability, and joy to the home, but the complete opposite, a war zone. Gang to gang, them to police, raids, break-in. Your children are not happy. There's no joy, peace, or anything. One of the things that people said about my home when I'm in the United States is, wow, there's so much peace in my home. And I never understood that, because I was like, well, yeah, it's quiet. But no, they said, no, it's a peaceful place. Like, people come to my home and don't want to leave. Just sit down. They just want to sit down. And y'all know that I don't keep like the cleanest, most up to date, everything in its place house. Now, I keep a house clean as far as not having things that cause germs, because as a lab tech, we clean everything like that. But as soon as I clean it, I'm gonna throw the clothes back on the couch. I will pick stuff up, vacuum the floor, fold the clothes up. And since I usually pick my stuff out in the living room on my way out to class, I'll leave my clothes folded on the couch. I don't care. I'm living by myself. It don't bother me. It has bothered more people that watch my videos. Man, you need to do something. Man, get out of here. I ain't no woman. Don't have one. Don't have no help. So when all those boxes come in that y'all see in the background of balls, water filters, and stuff that I bring down here, all right, it got to go somewhere. I can't afford an office. I understand that not a lot of people can donate to my channel. I understand this, and I don't want them to. That's why I tell people, don't do it. Because I know that many brothers are in a situation now that I at some time was in. It's just that as money came to me, I knew how to get rid of some stuff, and I figured out the credit game. All right. I figured out how not to get underwater. I figured out how to stay within my income or what I can make. That's how I stay above water. I figured out that money is a tool. It's not the thing you try to achieve. Money is the tool that you use to try to achieve something. My thing that I'm achieving, I was speaking to a guy yesterday, an Uber driver. He was so happy I was in his car because we was talking about God and this, that, and the other. And I was explaining to him, because I was upset over the gracias de Dios, grace of God. I was like, God didn't give us grace. He's like, oh, blasphemy. No. And that's the thing, these women do not have. They're living in a grace dispensation. All these women going through this PTSD, this trouble, these 10 things, they are living through grace instead of purpose. They have forsaken their purpose to obtain the grace that the preacher said that they had, but God never said that they had. And the preachers are very eloquent about explaining something that don't exist. The Most High gave us a purpose. If we go beyond that purpose, we cause the earth, our community, and ourselves to fail. Our first purpose was to be fruitful and multiply. In order to do that, you had to have a close relationship with somebody that can take care of the fruit once it comes, and cultivate it. The women did not do that. They forsaken that dude, at least in our community. So the dudes that could cultivate fruit went to have fruit with somebody else, went to plant seeds in other soils, in other lands, to make other lands fruitful. And at the same time, at this loss, we didn't understand how many other things were going to go wrong with the women when the good people leave. I kept telling people, you don't want the good people to leave the community, because then all you'll have left is the wicked people. I know that the children and some people miss me when I am here. They mamas don't, but they mamas don't understand that many more, all the guys that were like me and women that were helping me that had husbands, their husbands decided to leave the community because they didn't like it. They told me, dude, you need to leave. And I was like, well, I like my rent where I'm at. I like that I'm able to secure the place. But in a way, I did leave. I come down here a lot. So instead of a melanated woman getting the benefit of the resources that I use to help out, let's let's just be clear, a whole nother community. Think about the money that I have saved up and used to give to people here. Imagine what that could have been had a woman had my back in the United States. All right, and count the plane ticket, the hotel stays, and everything else. For a person that had a home to provide for a woman and a child, just think of what we could have built had I had somebody that wanted to build with me. Imagine that. Yeah, you don't have to. Y'all could put the numbers together. Y'all could see what I give out over here. Think about how many soccer balls I've given out into all these communities alone, just the soccer balls. Now go on eBay and find them soccer balls and see how much they cost per one. You'll find that it is very alarming. All right. And so good men like me are gone. The wicked ones are left, and the women are left to their wicked inclinations. Ain't nobody to speak to them anymore because they wouldn't listen to good men. Good men say, I am tired, I'm out. And now, guess what? These women have nobody. They realize they have nobody and can't admit how wrong they were. They can't get love back into their heart. They don't know what the word repent means. So now you got this PTSD because the people that they keep bringing around are the causes of this PTSD. All this stress from all the wickedness, they didn't want to be a helpmeet. So now they don't have any help for them to meet any kind of peace. All right. And so all these women doctors are looking into African women and they're not telling them the truth. That they could have been happy, but they have forsaken the one group of people that could have brought them that happiness. That's the Afro male. The good one. Not the Pookies and Ray Rays. But they got with everything else. And now they are starting to really see the repercussions of choosing everyone over the good Afro man. And those repercussions are hitting them hard. Very, very hard. Hey, so let me greet everybody real quick. Take a break, greet everybody. Hey, what's up, Roddy Benoit? Young Boy 24, Lord Vader. Torrance Johnson, what's going on? Hey, Dwight. All right. Let's see who else we got in here. Hey, Simplified Texas Marine. What's up, Wayne King? What's up, Nisi Ross? What's up, Zachariah Williams? All right, so let me, Taurus Johnson. Okay, this is ultimately the consequence we face if we separate from them. Let the self cleaning oven do its job. Right. So as the men separate, all right, this generation of women that wanted that sided with everything. All right, you got bills and stuff. You got a lot of people just getting tired. And like in Ezekiel, the 26th, 23rd, the 16th chapter, it said that this will happen. Okay. Hey Zach, don't forget, send for all you that donate, okay, please, please, please send me your mail. Send me your address. Send me your address to my thing and put donated. I'll be able to check it with my PayPal me. All right. But I want y'all to see something real quick. I'll mess this up. Ah, they saw all kind of neat stuff on the train. See this thing that holds my phone? I was like, man, all right. So let me just show y'all something real quick. All right. All right. You got soldiers that have been in battle that have a better chance of overcoming PTSD than the modern day Black woman. And I'm for real about that. All right. What the Black woman threw away was the guy that was that they could lay on his back and he had them. He had strength. But the only guy that they wanted that looked like that with those kind of muscles was a Pookie and Ray Ray just coming out of prison. And some of the times, the only guy that could afford to come like that is that dude that wasn't taking care of anything, no home, no children, or nothing. All right. And so for these designs, they said, okay, we're gonna kick this to the curb. All right. We don't want no real relationship. And part of the problem with all of that is these women learned it from their elders, the women of the 60s and 70s. All right. That's who they learned it from. All right. And they thought that, oh man, no problem. I'll just go online, put myself online and stuff like that. And it starts with the little cell phone thing. Then after the cell phone thing, it gets to the Instagram. Then your Instagram model. And then the next thing you know, you are in another country. All right. So basically, these are the kind of things. All right. This is the idea that I had that I want. So I'm here getting a whole bunch of stuff because I just want to be a blessing to people that's helping me be a blessing to people here. All right. So this is some cool stuff, right? This is going to be for Bertha. All right. Y'all don't understand. That woman has really. I'm gonna tell y'all about her. This is how I know we got sisters, and this is why I say this. And I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad she was my channel. All right. I don't know if she wanted me to, but I'm gonna just go on and do it, right? Because I try to think every time I come down here or go anywhere, I'm bringing Bertha something. All right. She's getting something from me. Her time. And the reason for that is before anybody else outside of Dwight, all right, yeah, outside of the White and a couple others, the brothers I gave watches to, all right, when I was giving out those Invicta watches, all right. If I get past, that's what I want people to share. If I get past a particular number of subscribers where my videos can be seen. I have some more watches like these to give away. That's like just one I wear kind of for weightlifting. I say for weightlifting as I kid, but I'm not kidding. That thing is heavy. All right. So, I told y'all I came here and I'm getting back in shape. Remember how big I was when I first got here a week ago? I'm saying a week ago. That's what this place does for me. Okay. So what I'm going to do real quick, all right, everybody, what I'm gonna do real quick is let's see. Let's go up on the roof. Hey, boy, no. With a like, so this would have been a nice thing to do. Come down here. Maybe not have them where I go. Understand? But kind of have somebody to help me organize, right? It would be nice. Would have been nice. But as you see, everything that I am doing, I had to do by myself. Okay? Get this in here right. Hold this like this. Much better. So the things that I'm doing, I had to do by myself. Why? I had to do by myself because no melanated woman was going to help me. Why? Because I wasn't a Pookie and Ray Ray. But do you notice that the most grief that I have gotten, all right, the most grief that I have gotten was from black women who say, oh, you going down there to get them non-black women. And what if I am? All right. So when you look at all these documents and all the stuff that they're going through, it is very, That's what PTSD is. And it ain't like crazy, like local, but you lose your sense. You're traumatized by the mess that you've seen. And a lot of people with PTSD, the problem with the mess that they've seen is many soldiers are asked to do something that they spiritually or morally did not agree with. And some of them, because of the I'm just following orders things, did it, and they have that continual sorrow that they feel. That's basically what PTSD is. It's a mechanism in your brain that tell you that something wasn't right, that you did something that wasn't right. And so now it's like an autoimmune disease. Autoimmune meaning that your body is fighting itself. And what PTSD, what it seems like PTSD is somebody's mind fighting itself to help them deal with compromising, understand this, to help them deal with compromising themselves in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Period. All right. Now, so what happens is this. There is no way to help these women. If they repented, that'd be one thing, right? But they have another problem. All the evil and wickedness that has been done, all right, it's hard to fix that to where you get back to total heal. I believe they could be partially healed, but I don't think they could be healed to the point where some man is going to want them overall. And remember, they said they're an island unto themselves. So they got that, being an island unto themselves. And now their biggest fear is being unto them. Their biggest fear is the desire that they wanted, and they have attained. It became their biggest fear. They wanted to be alone, so now they're alone. All right? Period. They wanted to be alone, now they're alone. The guys who wanted to be alone, now they're alone, but they're alone in a good way. See, because they took their money and resources and they're going other places where they're appreciated. See, dudes like the company of women if they're company. But if they're badgering, belligerent, and not an advantage for them, they want to be alone. Remember, when I put up the Wendy Williams story, the only time you saw that man smiling was at the beginning of my slides, and those were the slides when they were about to go through divorce. That's the only time you seen a smile on that guy's face. All the rest of the time you didn't see you didn't see, you rarely see that man when he was with Wendy Williams taking a picture with a smile on his face. Now that he's free, he got a bunch of smiles on his face. The mentality of the son is ruined by the mother, but he's smiling. And the sad part is most guys are knowing happiness by leaving the B femmes alone in the United States. Period. All right. So I would like to thank you all for stopping. Man, I can't talk. Got too many languages in my mouth. Man, I know that's right, Texas Marine. Hey man, where are you at? Are you in Houston, San Antonio, Dallas? I'm guessing you're in some of the big places. You could be in an East, you could be in East Texas, like Lubbock. Well, that ain't East Texas. You could be in like Jasper or something like that, but I doubt it. All right. But for everybody, thank you for showing up. All right. Once dudes leave the United States and see the respect that they're treated with, oh, you in Houston, we need to hook up, dude. Hit me up on my email. I'll shoot you my number. Oh, West Side. Okay. All right, over by Katy and all of that. Or at least by the Beltway. Or Highway 6. But anyway, with saying that, right? Y'all, that's what we gotta do. We gotta make these connections, right? But one of the problems that they're having, these black women, is once we somewhere else and Memorial City, okay, got you. By 59, um, one of the problems that they having is once we go somewhere and come back to the United States, we don't want them. They no longer become attractive to us. See, everybody, people like, oh man, oh, it's all about the look. It's never been about the looks. That's one of the things that I figured out. It has always been about these women, femininity. Okay, got you. It's always been about these women, femininity. Understand this. It's always been about the women's femininity. Oh, do they act like women? Yeah. But you can deal with that. All right. It's about the femininity of the women. It's about the women not wanting to be the man. And these women use that femininity to their advantage too. Let's not get that twisted either. All right, but that's what it's about. And the women in the United States have missed the point. And according to the article, they missed it badly and they're suffering for it. And all I can say is, I'm sorry, but I just can't reach them. All right. So, with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul. All right. And don't forget the thumbs up. Don't forget if you care to donate, remember you take care of your family first and self first. All right. But if you do, send me your email so that I can ship people some of this stuff. All right. I got stamps and I need to use them. All right. So I'll holler at all of y'all later, right? But I want to just let y'all know, right? I just want to let y'all know that these so-called ancestors put these women in a predicament by making it so that they thought that they were an island unto themselves. But oh, the pain they have now to find out, but wait a minute, they're not this island unto themselves. And because they did that, nobody wants them. And it's not because they look bad, it's because they got too much baggage that they brought from everywhere else except from the good man. And no good man wants to struggle with the wickedness. Bottom line. So now they are SOL. They are out of luck. And that wall is here, and they are out of time.